This episode of Rick and Rick Rule the World is brought to you by Taskin, the first name in ultra-stylish, premium quality travel gear, like the exquisitely designed Taskin One expandable backpack. With 9 practical variations, the Taskin One is always the right size for wherever life takes you next. Save 30% on your next purchase when you use the promo code R&R Take 30. That's R&R Take 30 at TaskinSF.com.
Next up on an all-new Rick and Rick.
Hike Ad Bowl 2023 is now in the history books.
And we're here with your official play-by-play on all the touchdowns, fumbles, incomplete passes.
And all the block kicks, pump fakes, blitzes, and Hail Marys.
In a Super Bowl 57 size edition of Rick and Rick Loaded Questions.
And it all starts right here, right now.
On the one show where everybody's a first-round NFL draft Rick.
And everybody rules the world.
You heard it right, folks. Rick and Rick are reporting for duty on advertising's biggest day of the year. This is Rick Matheson, and I am joined, as always, by the Patrick to my Mahomes, the Jalen to my Hurts, the jalapeno to my poppers, which isn't at all like I meant it to sound, Rick Wooten. How you doing, Rick?
Hey, happy Super Bowl Sunday, my friend.
Happy Super Bowl Sunday. You know, it's funny because I have been so busy today that I've only caught little snippets of the game, and it actually looked like, for once, it was actually a suspenseful game.
Yeah, you know, this was definitely a nail-biter. The scores were tied almost all the way through the game, just super close all the way up to the end.
Yeah, that's the best. Well, it is Super Bowl Sunday as we record this episode, and we do want to extend a super thank you for tuning in to our version of a nail-biting post-game analysis. As in Ad Bowls past, we're celebrating with a pigskin edition of Rick and Rick's Loaded Questions, our multiple choice quiz game that you can play from home or wherever you enjoy this podcast. And by pigskin, we actually mean stuffed potato skins, of course, because, hey, it's the Super Bowl.
That's right.
So with that, Rick Wooten, are you ready for Rick-Off?
I am ready.
All right. Question 1. With inflation running rampant these days, the cost of running 30 seconds of advertising airtime during Super Bowl 57 averaged A, $7 million, B, $7.2 million, C, $5.3 million, or D, 3 Rick and Rick Pez dispensers and a Pepsi Zero Sugar. 30 seconds of airtime during this year's Super Bowl will set you back how much?
$7 million. I feel like I do the Austin Powers. $7 million.
Yeah, it's Dr. Evil. You are correct. Answer is A. According to Variety, advertisers shelled out an average of $7 million for 30 seconds of airtime. That's apparently up $500,000 from last year's game, coming off to something like $233,330 per second to air Ben Affleck working a Dunkin' Donuts drive-thru, and that's not including the cost of actually producing that spot and paying Ben Affleck for his time.
That's awesome. Hey, I got one for you.
Hit me.
What was talked about today as something else that you could buy for $7 million?
You know, for $7 million, I'm hoping I can at least get a Jeep 4xe.
Yeah, that's right. Well, apparently there is a castle for sale in northern Idaho, and it is for sale for, as you guessed it, $7 million.
Jeez.
This was kind of going around on the news a little bit today. They were like, you know, the Super Bowl ads are $7 million. What else can you get for $7 million? So they're showing a few of these. And I mean, this is a legit castle with, you know, towers and guest houses, all kinds of stuff on this property, right on the water. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's what you can get for $7 million. You can buy a castle, or you could go ahead and run an ad.
Jeez. Now, which would you do?
You know, that's pretty tough. I think I'd buy the castle. It looks pretty cool.
I think I probably would too.
Come on, it has a 45-foot bell tower. Come on, I want to be Quasimodo and be ringing the bell.
Totally. All right, my question for you. For Gen X, it was hip to be square, but in a commercial called Try Another Angle, Gen Z rapper Jack Harlow, Gen Xer Missy Elliott, and baby boomer Elton John tried to spark a global triangle fad to promote A, weed, B, bacon cheddar cheese whiz, C, avocados from Switzerland, or D, Doritos sweetened tangy barbecue chips. Jack Harlow, Missy Elliott, and Elton John try to spark Triangle Mania to promote what?
You know, I saw this one too. So it is the Doritos barbecue flavor.
You are correct. In a spot from San Francisco-based Goodby Silverstein and Partners, Doritos has run this spot to promote Doritos sweetened tangy barbecue chips. So in a statement, Doritos announced that it selected Angie Yadao Pavad, sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, from Hawaii through its TikTok challenge, Doritos Triangle Tryout, to appear in the spot as well. With the help of TikTok sensation Vibin' with Tay, in just 3 days, more than 1 million videos were submitted to the contest, making it Doritos' most successful TikTok activation to date.
Fantastic. You know, the ad itself was kind of fun. I mean, it definitely gave me a little bit of Clockwork Orange vibes to it, but outside of that, I thought it was creative and you know, one of the more fun ones I saw.
Yeah. All right. Next question. In one Super Bowl spot, SNL icon Maya Rudolph attempts to replace M&M candies with A, Downy Unstoppables, B, Skechers Slip-Ins, C, Chocolate Clam Bites, or D, Woke Chocolate Spokes Candies. In a spot where whatever they're smoking is way better than whatever it is they're selling, Maya Rudolph attempts to replace M&M candies with what?
I'm going to guess it was the Woke candies. I mean, I really don't know.
Almost. So the answer is C. So in a spot from BBDO North America, we finally see why suddenly last week M&M's announced that the brand would drop the Woke Spokes candies that had become so controversial to somebody somewhere last year. It was, as the New York Times reports, just a ploy to trendjack the Super Bowl by creating a hubbub only to run a press conference style spot following the game to announce that, much as you may have been hankering for bite-sized candies filled with chewy, chunky clams, you will not be getting those because the M&M Spokes candies are back.
You know, and I have to just say that to me, this one was kind of a flop.
Totally.
It didn't work for me.
Yeah, and like I said, whatever they were smoking while they were making this spot was way more interesting than the spot itself. So better luck next time, M&Ms. All right, next question. While they're tearing through vulnerable animal habitats at 50 miles per hour, Jeep 4xe owners can rest easy knowing that their vehicles are A, electric for guilt-free off-roading, B, a hit with booga-boogalooing party animals everywhere, C, they won't spew carbon while they're crawling through the Dunkin' drive-thru lane, or D, all of the above.
Oh, I know it's A for sure, but why don't we go with D?
Yeah, no, it could have been. I'm going to give that to you. Chicago-based agency High Dive created this spot. Now, this agency had created Jeep's 2020 Groundhog Day Super Bowl spot starring Bill Murray, which, of course, you remember, right?
Yeah.
Well, that spot won USA Today's ad meter, but I'm not sure this one's going to do that. All I kept thinking is that the elephants doing the moonwalk isn't going to end well.
I know. You know, I maybe they're trying to change their demographic.
I don't know.
I just didn't quite get it. Now, that said, I mean, I've thought about trading in my Jeep for one of the 4xe, so it's actually a cool vehicle.
Totally.
Just a really lame commercial.
All right, next question. If anything brings the feels to Super Bowl spots, it's animals, yes, but puppies and kids for sure. With that in mind, direct-to-consumer dog food brand The Farmer's Dog has a new spot called Forever, which showcases A, Ben Affleck working the pet food aisle, B, the life and times of a chocolate lab and her person, C, the retirement home for the Budweiser Clydesdales, or D, Jack Harlow pitching triangle-shaped Labrador ears. In a Super Bowl spot titled Forever, direct-to-consumer dog food brand The Farmer's Dog has surely put itself on the map by showcasing what?
It was definitely B. It was the life of a dog.
Yes, the life and times of a chocolate lab from puppy to Medicare Plus in a tearjerker produced by Sanctuary Content and set to Forever by Lee Fields. Touchdown to all involved. I thought this was a great spot.
Yeah, this was definitely I watched a lot of the ads, and I would have to say this is the one that definitely hit the feels the most for me.
Yeah, and if you're this brand, I had never heard of this brand. I'm betting you hadn't. Had you?
Never.
Yeah, so it's going to be the talk of the next week. So they definitely got a lift.
Yeah, it always trips me out when small companies like this, or at least companies that I'm unaware of, go big and go with a $7 million Super Bowl ad.
Yeah, that is shooting your shot for sure, but literally it's not an accident, but it was organic, right? They were using puppies, but it's a dog food brand, so it's okay.
Yeah.
And they hit all the right notes with it.
This is true. Actually, I think that's a really good point. If you're going to do an ad and you're going to take a big risk like this, they actually did a very good ad for it. I think people will remember this ad.
Yep.
Every year, one of the things we look forward to is the halftime show. But this year, the sponsor isn't exactly who we thought it was. Do you know who the sponsor is? Was it A, Pepsi, B, Cisco, C, Apple, or D, Rick and Rick Rule the World?
I want to say it could be Apple. It seems very Apple, but I'm going to guess, sure I'm going to be wrong here, probably is Apple, but I'm going to say Cisco.
You should have stuck with your intuition there. It was Apple.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, this is the first Super Bowl in quite some time that Pepsi has not sponsored it. It's usually them.
Yeah.
And this time Apple stepped up and they actually sponsored it, which is crazy.
We'll continue our Super Bowl edition of Loaded Questions after this short break.
This episode of Rick and Rick Rule the World is brought to you by Taskin, the first name in ultra-stylish, premium quality travel gear, like the exquisitely designed Taskin 1 expandable backpack. With 9 practical variations, the Taskin 1 is always the right size for wherever life takes you next. Save 30% on your next purchase when you use the promo code R&R Take 30. That's R&R Take 30 at TaskinSF.com.
And we are back. Rick and Rick Rule the World with Rick Matheson and Rick Wooten, and our Super Bowl edition of Loaded Questions continues. All right, next question. The Servant Christian Foundation delivered the good news through a pair of in-game spots featuring A, a tirade against woke spokes candies, B, the new season of the 700 Club Bel Air, C, a Jesus rebranding campaign about being childlike and loving your enemies, or D, Jack Harlow pitching the Holy Trinity. The Servant Christian Foundation ran a pair of spots featuring what?
You know, I think you kind of gave me an easy one on this one. I definitely C.
Yes, you are correct. The answer is C. As Ad Age reports, the campaign called He Gets Us comes from a cross-cultural agency called Lerma and a marketing firm called Haven, and is billed as a, quote, Jesus rebranding campaign. One of the spots is called Be Childlike, and it features black and white images of kids hugging, laughing, and cooperating to the tune of Patsy Cline singing If I Could See the World. An on-screen copy delivers a refreshing message. Quote, Jesus didn't want us to act like adults, followed by the He Gets Us tagline. The second ad, called Love Your Enemies, takes the opposite angle by showing us intolerant adults attacking one another for their beliefs, their politics, their color, their heritage, their sexuality, their orientation, whatever, set to Human from Rag and Bone Man. On-screen copy in that spot reads, Jesus loved the people we hate. I would personally prefer the present tense there, Rick. I think it should have said Jesus loves the people we hate, but it's a small nit to a timely and impressively inclusive spot. I also don't think Jesus needs a rebranding, but I suspect that was a line designed to get you and me and the industry press's attention, not anybody else's. So I thought these were good spots.
Yeah, no, actually, it sounds like it was pretty good. I think this is another one that I missed. I don't remember this one.
They were completely even-handed. I will confess to say that I like to think, if you think that's woke, just what do you see, Jesus? But He Gets Us, or this campaign, widely sidesteps that kind of obnoxious self-righteousness to point out that we all err when we do anything but treat each other exactly as we'd want to be treated if we shared that other person's worldview. And that, of course, was something Jesus could not have been more clear about, and that we all fail to follow all too often.
That's awesome. They get.
All right, next question. In a pair of in-game spots, Steve Martin and Ben Stiller offer a masterclass in acting to promote A, TurboTax, B, Coinbase, C, fixing your pics with Google Pixel, or D, Pepsi Zero Sugar. Zoolander and that wild and crazy guy give us a masterclass in acting to promote what?
It was definitely Pepsi Zero.
You are correct. Answer is D. Ben Stiller and Steve Martin promote the new improved taste of Pepsi Zero Sugar in a pair of spots that are really, really good. Or am I just acting?
That was pretty awesome.
Yeah. I thought these spots were just okay. Honestly, I enjoyed them. Not a little too long. And you almost felt like, okay, is it really better tasting? I was doubting the pitch.
Exactly. That was the worst part about it when I finished the commercial. It was like, so are they saying don't believe him or believe him or uncredible? Like, I don't know. I think it was trying to be a little too clever. I think they almost worked, by the way. I mean, there was just a little bit of something that was missing, a little je ne sais quoi that it needed to fully work for me. And I don't know what it was, but it was just slightly off.
Yep, it was this close, but something went wrong.
Totally. And they had great talent. There was just one edit that needs to be made, and I'm not sure what it was.
Next question. Speaking of TurboTax, by the way, the tax prep service's Super Bowl spot dancer tells you to A, do your taxes like nobody's watching, B, don't do your taxes, C, get an EV tax credit courtesy of Netflix, or D, book a trip somewhere, anywhere on booking.com. Super Bowl spot from TurboTax tells you what?
Don't do your taxes.
You're right. In this Super Bowl spot, its latest Super Bowl spot, they've been just perennial now. TurboTax tells you don't do your taxes. Leave them to the professionals instead. And this is an aside here, Rick. I have to ask, because I'm curious if you saw the commercial and had the same reaction. Total different commercial. But in this spot for booking.com, does Melissa McCarthy actually start the commercial by saying fucking booking.com? I replayed it a couple of times, and it just sounded like she's saying fucking.
I didn't catch that. No. This is another one of those ones where I wasn't that impressed with it, so I kind of glazed over on it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's fair enough. I can't argue with that. All right. Next question. The cast of Breaking Bad is back to promote A, Dunkin' Donuts, B, Peacock, C, Mr. Peanut, or D, Popcorners. Cast of Breaking Bad is back to promote what?
I have to say this was one of my favorite commercials, and it was definitely Popcorners.
You are correct. The answer is D, Popcorners. The spot is from D3, Frito-Lay's in-house agency, and it is designed to position Popcorners as addictive. From a marketing and positioning standpoint, nailed it, but also it was fun to see the characters sort of talking. It was like a double entendre of drugs based on the show, and they were talking about Popcorners. So well done.
And I really liked how they captured those quintessential moments from the show. It's like, say its name. At the end, the one crazy drug lord guy, and he's like, 6, no, there needs to be 7. And they're like, okay, 7. They did such an amazing job.
Now, I'm saying that they did a good job from a marketing standpoint, assuming something about the target audience. I don't know the demographics of that show. I'm not sure it matters, but like you were able to relate back to moments and characters in the show. Is Rick Wooten the audience for Popcorners, and will you be trying it?
I might. I mean, I definitely think I'm the audience, and I think I might try it. Next question. GM has decided they want to go all in on electric, and we're seeing a lot of car companies do this now. And so they have decided to enlist an unlikely partner. Is it A, Budweiser, B, Apple, C, Pepsi Zero, or D, avocados from Mexico?
Oh, for fuck's sake. None of those were what I was thinking it was. I saw a commercial where they enlisted Netflix to help them sell it.
It was Netflix. I totally added in avocados from Mexico and accidentally edited out Netflix.
Now that is a mind screw.
As I was reading it, I'm like, what? Where's my answer?
All right. Well, listeners, let us know what we got right and what we got wrong here in our review of the Super Bowl spots. I have not looked at USA Today's ad meter yet, so it'll be interesting, Rick, to see who scores best here. I do suspect the Farmer's Dog will score high. I don't know if it'll be number 1, but it could. Until we all meet again here, please stay safe, keep each other safe, and keep on coming back to the one show where everybody's name is Rick.
And everybody rules the world.